Hey crypto friends, I'm Garrett and welcome to Altcoin Radar. Today I'm going to be doing something really dumb and I'm going to attempt to use 100x leverage on a quick Bitcoin scalp just for fun, and I'm going to be doing it live in this video as well. And for those of you who love trading crypto and would like to try out the same exchange that I use on a daily basis, feel free to go ahead and try out the Blowfin exchange here with the link in the video description down below this video. All right, guys. So now I obviously know how risky and how dumb that this actually is, and I know that I'm straight up gambling here. But I'm not doing this to actually try to make money or anything like that. All right. In fact, I'm betting I will probably end up losing this trade. But this is just a personal experiment for me to personally see what it's like to use 100x leverage for the very first time. All right, guys, so we are going to go ahead and just dive right into this shit, and we are going to get into the Bitcoin chart here. And as you guys can clearly see here, I have put $200 in my account, in my trading account for this purpose. The reason why is because we are not going to be risking very much money, all right? This is the very first time I've ever done this, and I am not about to risk big money on a complete gamble here, all right? So we are only going to risk probably $50 for this, and we're going to use cross leverage. That way, obviously, if the trade goes the wrong direction right away, then we can go ahead and get out when we need to. And so yeah. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. So we're going to go to the real-time charts and see what's going on here. As you can see on the real-time charts, we've got our MACD. It is looking pretty bearish right now, but it is also coming up to the moving average right now as well. So it could probably potentially, yep, there it goes. It's starting to go back upwards. But on the 5-minute here, we can also see that the 5-minute wants down. All right, we've got downward pressure going on, but you can clearly see price action moving here, trying to move back upwards as well. All right, so therefore, we're going to go back to the real-time charts, and we are going to go ahead and try for a potential long here, I guess, and see what the hell happens here. So let's see here, 100x leverage. I'm using $50. Let's see here, $50 times 100 is 5,000. So we want to enter with a $5,000 position size, and we're just going to say fuck it, and we're going to go long here and see what happens. All right, so let's see what happens here. This is going to be interesting. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get ready to sell this as soon as we start to see some profit, if that even happens. And let's go ahead and see what happens here. I'll go ahead and put my stop loss right down here, 113,708. Let's see here, 113,708.00, and confirm. And let's go ahead and see what happens. All right. So price is currently above the moving average, as we can clearly see right now. And I'm currently waiting to see if the MACD actually does go back to the upside and start turning green right there, because if it does, then we'll end up starting to make some money here. But if not, then I'm going to get screwed and we're going to end up going down. And yeah, that's not going to be good. But as you guys can clearly see, I am currently up 4.5%, and Bitcoin has barely even moved. But let's see what happens. Let's keep going here. All right, this is moving a lot slower than I honestly anticipated it would. Damn, not much else to say here. All right, so yeah, we are up 4.5% so far. This is not moving very fast at all. This is kind of very anticlimactic. I wasn't expecting this to move this slow, but let's see what happens here. All right, we're still above the moving average, and we are moving above. Hopefully, if we can get above these previous two peaks right here on these two highs right here, that would be very nice. But if we are in a downtrend and it's going to continue to go down, then we should see it continuing this trend right here. But obviously, as you guys can clearly see, this downtrend right here, price action is currently above that right now, so that's kind of nice to see. I don't really know how far I really want to take this. I'll probably only end up going up to between 15 to 20% if that does end up happening, because that's typically what I usually like to do. Is I usually like to make trades up to 15% or between 15 to 20%. The reason why is because it's very easy for me to be consistent between 15 and 20%, rather than trying to go for big gigantic 100x gains or 100% gains on a daily basis. That's just not realistic, and I like to be able to make profits on an everyday basis. So therefore, I'm able to make 15% gains on an everyday basis, being consistent with that. So as you guys can clearly see, I'm currently at, well, I was at 15.62%. But let's see here. Let's see what ends up happening here. We're above this trend line right now still, and we are still hopefully going to be climbing upwards here. You can still see on the 5-minute chart, you know, the histogram bars, it ended up turning red to the downside, but now it's starting to turn green again. So hopefully we end up having that good strong bounce right there and continuing to go upwards. And let's see here, we are still going upwards on the MACD histogram down here as well, so that's nice to see. And we are up by over 15%. So I'm going to go ahead and close this position and just call it for what it is and say that it was a successful trade and I got lucky as hell here. But to be brutally honest with you, for being my first time trading with 100x leverage, that was not as bad as I honestly thought it would be, all right? I pretty much use the exact same strategy that I use with day trading when I'm trading on an every single day basis, which is using my moving average here and basing my entries and exits based off of where price action is in relation to the moving average here. Now, I usually don't use the MACD or the RSI. I just wanted to turn these on because these quick movements can be kind of... you know, they can kind of jump very, very fast. So being able to see what the indicators are showing me in real time is kind of nice to see on these very, very quick movements here. Because as you guys can clearly see, it's starting to go back down and retest the moving average once again. All right. But overall here, guys, as I mentioned before, using leverage as high as 100x is insanely risky and should never be used on a regular basis, as you could easily, you could easily lose all of your funds within literal seconds, all right? Now, for me personally, I normally don't even go higher than 20x leverage on the most of the trades I take on any given day. But I just wanted to do this just for fun, just to see what it's actually like to use 100x leverage. Now, guys, before I go ahead and wrap up this video, if you guys enjoyed this one and you feel like you got some decent value out of it, or you just enjoyed it in general, please be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button below the video and drop me a comment below about what you thought of this video as well. And with that said, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope to see all of you in the next video.